Putting yourself on my bed.
What is up, everybody? Yes, that's how I do it, Nello. What is up, everybody? How are we doing today? We are back again for Laying It Down with Big D. I am your host, Andrew Big D Morrow, and today I'm joined by a good friend of mine. I've known him for a while now, and org owner. I mean, I'm getting to be good friends with everybody, but for real, I got to hang out in Kansas City with this dude. He's been around the scene for a while now. He's been in love with Counter-Strike and esports for God knows how long. We're gonna find out here in a moment. But Austin Nello, how are we doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Bright and cheery on this wonderful Friday morning of mine.
Is it Friday? It is Friday.
Gosh, I
And
hope so.
NRG are in overtime of map one right now. So hopefully map two is still playing when we're done with this, because I keep recording when this is done. What do we think about that opening bit there? Now I have to get up and make my bed while I talk to you here real fast. No, why don't you tell the people at home how much you love Counter-Strike?
Oh, I fucking love Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike, I mean, honestly, probably my first FPS in Call of Duty that I truly fell in love, like I come home from school and play the game because yeah, back in the Xbox 360 days and all that good stuff. I mean, it was Call of Duty. And I even played Counter Strike when they did that little console release. I had no idea what the hell it was, but I played it a little bit, and I even sometimes, after I started playing on PC, I went back to it, and it was pretty bad. But no, Counter Strike's great. I love the game. I mean, I've never really found a game with such a competitive aspect and trying to outsmart your opponent, like the thrill of it, as much as that game. I mean, sure, Valorant's tried, but Counter Strike's always going to be my go-to.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wondered what it is like in people's brains that makes them, because like you can look at games like, if you take games like StarCraft, League of Legends, or slash Dota, uh, Valorant, and Counter-Strike, all four of and Rocket League now, I would say as well, all five of those games can be have the same like skill ceiling, where it's like an infinite ceiling, right? And you're always learning and always changing, and like you never beat the game.
Hmm.
But there's something about Counter-Strike though that and this is coming from somebody who's played all those games, not at the highest levels by any means. I suck ass at Dota and League, but like Counter-Strike, there's what is it about it that like what is it? Tell me. Tell me what you think it is that keeps people coming back, and
I
why
mean,
why I think it over those other two games will be the more adopted esport by normies as time goes on.
from what I believe, with Counter Strike, it's the staple. It's the OG of the OG, like FPS shooter wise. Like it's been around since what, like early nine or late '90s, like '99 or whatever. Like, you got 1.6 and all the iterations, and you've seen so many other games adopt its like playstyle, like with Call of Duty, Search and Destroy. That's Counter Strike in the Call of Duty format. Um, And then when you actually play the game, like if you're a competitive guy like me, I'm a competitive dude. Like I'm always trying to be better than my opponent, and I love the thrill of competition. And Counter Strike just holds that so well to like form a team, 5 people, and go in. I mean, sure, every other FPS might have that aspect, but the slow pace and methodical way of just like the strategy of Counter Strike, in my opinion, is what keeps bringing people back. Plus skins, but that's besides the point. Um,
There may be that as well.
maybe that, but and yeah, everyone watches Counter Strike. And once you honestly realize how hard it is to play the game at like a high level. And I think that's another thing that people bring. They want to keep trying to beat themselves to get better and beat their opponent. Like, oh, I'm actually improving, because there's no aim lock or like aim assist in this game. It's just you and your own senses, your hands, and like how good your hands and your eyes work together. And honestly, I think that's just what brings people to the game.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's I remember I don't know if he was the first to say it, but I remember Worrell talking about Counter-Strike. Like Counter-Strike is such a unique game because it's the only game where the only thing that changes in the game is you as a player. Like it's you actually leveling up as a player rather than any kind of unlock or like progression or anything like that. Like it's all this very raw one-to-one input. Like you said, it's you and your senses and that's it. Like the playing field is totally level other than the brain power going into the game. I
Hmm.
mean, we can talk about Smurfs and whatnot being an issue when that type of stuff happens, but at the end of the day, like people also have even more of an appreciation for this game when they go to play it. Like it's a game that you can watch, right? And you have no idea what it is, but you can intuitively pick up what's happening pretty quickly. But then if you and it's one that you can watch and be like, "Oh, I could do that. I play FPS. I know what's going on." And then you go play and you're like, "Whoa, this is way harder than I thought it was." And like it takes years of practice and just yeah, it's brilliant. All right, dude. Well, let's fucking yap about your time. How did you get into competitive Counter-Strike from when you got started? Like what was the path from getting
So
into Counter-Strike
are
to
we talking like an organization wise, or just me playing the game?
well, let's walk the journey of you've started to play it. How did you get into the like wanting to be more invested in competition? And then did you play? And then how did you become an org owner? Answer
Okay.
all those questions at once.
So it all started when little me in high school finally got his first gaming PC. Ventured off from the console, and I only got the PC because I wanted to play DayZ. I love those DayZ videos. So technically, that was my first person kind of shooter, I guess, in a way of aiming. How it's third person, but that was my little, no aim assist journey. My friends told me to get this game, Counter Strike. It took me like a year to finally eventually buy it and be like, all right, I'll play. And they already been playing for like maybe 6 months before me and whatnot. And so I bought it. We started playing, and I thought it was the stupidest fucking game in the world because it's like, why are my bullets going all over the place? That type of rage moments. Like, it's like, why? Like, what kind of dumbass game makes me pull down and control the recoil? That's not how real life works. So I can't aim down the sights, all that good stuff. That I'm sure every new Counter Strike player goes through. Like, what the hell is this shit? So you early on you fall in love with the Op and the Krieg for obvious reasons. Because then you're like, this is an FPS right here. But yeah, then it just became kind of the after school game. We get off and before my friends went to work because they did their after school job. We played like a couple hours. And then it kind of just gradually kept going for me. Eventually, I mean, they didn't play as much as me. Eventually, they kind of fell off. But I was always in the death matches and whatnot. Like, not even playing matches. I was just aim training just for fun, I guess, because I was bored and I liked the game, but didn't really have anyone else to play with. We did try an open team. That did not go well. We got put in the ground quite often. Because none of us knew what the hell we are doing. We are just playing, silver Counter Strike kind of deal, or like, I think we might have been Gold Nova or Master Guardian at the time. Um, but as I kind of progressed, they all kind of fell off. They didn't want to do it, put the time to practice. So I eventually went up on my own. Got in several open teams. Sadly, I just wasn't cut out for it. Maybe, I'm gonna blame the team. They just didn't support me right. I just didn't.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah, yeah,
was.
yeah. I didn't have the best numbers, and also all the practice and stuff. I kind of fell out of the drive to compete. It was kind of a constant cycle. I just don't think I was the one to do it. I didn't have the energy because after a while it's like, gosh, I don't want to practice. I want to do something else. Like I like playing, but all the practice and stuff that went into it kind of probably hindered. But after a few failed attempts, kind of gave up on that. But I still I basically wanted to play a league for fun, which is what you and I did, and I actually enjoyed my time in that. But I
Yeah, I
kept
did too, up until I found out that we were
I kept
playing with.
yeah, yeah. I kept watching the CS scene. Like that was my one esport back in the day. Like I didn't keep track of anything else. It was just I would just watch Pro CS, blah 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 blah. And so I never came out of the love of competitive Counter Strike. Like I always loved watching it, and I would always say to myself, "Hey, if I ever get the chance, I want to run. I want to run an esports org. I want to be in Counter Strike. I want to have my team. I want to be going to these stages, you know." And so eventually, just how long has it been? 2 years ago now, maybe, or 2.5 years ago. I created my first esports org. I was in a good spot money wise. I was like, what the hell? Let's try it. Let's see what we can do in a couple of years. And so Atomic Gaming was my first one. Had some great guys, Sweet, Zen, Sharpie Hollow was on there, and
Shout out to
Gianni.
Simon
Yeah, Gianni. Yeah, Simon. It's
and
Gianni.
Sean
There was Orbit in there. There was some few guys in the
and
original
Reese.
squads. Yes, Reese. Yep. But yeah, so I went to Counter Strike first game right off rip. Obviously, it's like I want to get into this game, and now we kind of just blossom up from there. We're still killing Counter Strike. I mean, to be fair, that's kind of the one I probably put the most effort in. Don't tell the others. Um, and say because it holds such a, it's kind of like Jason Lake. Like it holds such a huge spot in my heart that game. So I really want it to work. Um, but that's kind of where my journey has taken me in the competitive Counter Strike world. It's now
Well, and
Take
what?
Flight, top 8 advanced now, right now.
That's right, baby. They're moving up. They're grinding. The investment in this roster is paying off. I think they've got to
It's the
really.
best they done. It's the best they've done since we in this iterations of our rosters, or
Well,
since
and
I've joined.
if they keep playing like they played last night against the Zomblers, holy shit, they looked sharp last night. I mean, they blew the Zomblers out of the water in both of those maps, and I know the Zomblers are a good team. I do think that the Zomblers had a bit of like there was a combination of Take Flight playing really well and Zomblers not playing their best, but uh, I know they scrim each other a lot, and if Take Flight can keep playing the way they are, that roster's really gonna make some moves. Let's ask you about the the Take Flight business. I mean, well, actually, let's not talk too much about Take Flight because we're gonna do an episode with you
And seven.
and Saban. We're doing the Nello episode, and then there is a Saban episode coming out next week, and then we will do the Saban and Nello together, and maybe we'll try to get Nafson on there as well for a
Okay.
real little round table event of talking Take Flight. But yeah, well, what does an org owner do? Because I've heard multiple different things, but I feel like it's like a coach. Like it's
Oh, I wouldn't say coach. I would say that
well, not like a coach, but
it's
like a
more like
coach in esports where there's not like a defined role necessarily. But
the
you're
way I
doing
would like
whatever
to
the moment
describe
calls
it
for.
is you're the parent and all the players are your children.
Mm.
It's what it feels like because you're constantly having a message. You're constantly having to chase these kids down, you know, or these players down because they're not really kids. A lot of them are adult men, but you know, still feels that way. But yeah, you're constantly chasing down. You're trying to manage them, like, hey, have we done this, done that, blah blah blah. Oh, we need to go to tournament. Here's some money. Here you go. But I mean, that's kind of the way it feels like. Cause yeah, I mean, you are the manager. I mean, maybe sometimes you can coach them a little bit, but you know, you're making sure they're doing what they need to do. I mean, to represent our brand as well, and you try to push them to do what's best. You know, if they really want to do what they want to do, you try to push them to, you know, to compete, to do as much as they can do to improve themselves. You know, to be a better player. Although sometimes they fight against that a little bit on some players because you know they want to go do other things every now and then. But you know, in the end, you're like, hey, these are people too. They're not robots. But it's a fun aspect. I mean, it's great management skill building wise. I mean, like I said, I constantly say to him, it's like I love all my children.
Yeah. Which one's your favorite though?
Oh my gosh, I
No, I'm
love them
just
all.
kidding.
I love them all equally.
That's the correct
But
answer.
oh yeah, me and Saban we're big papas. We try to do what we can for for the guys. Help them build their dreams around here. But that's kind of what running an org feels like to me a lot of times. Just hurdling the players, getting them where they need to be, and make sure everything is up to snuff.
That makes sense. Well, and you guys are prepping for the Frag 19 LAN coming
Hmm.
up here in July. How are you feeling about that?
Feeling good, feeling good. I was gonna say I haven't really seen many big names sign up for it yet. I mean, I've seen
Yeah.
Game Hunters, the Brazilian team. Um, guess I can't really remember who's all on that list. But I mean, I'm sure more will follow. They always seem the big names always seem to sign up like right at last minute. But no, we're feeling good. I mean, we're clicking with the new edition Fire. I think it'd be a great tournament. I mean, I think we can get most of these teams. I mean, ECL wise, a run for their money. I mean, last time we were there, I mean, we took a map off getting info. I mean, I think that's a pretty big achievement. Now, did they put us in the next two maps? Yeah, but hey, I mean, it wasn't a 2-0. I mean, it showed some life into the squad. So, no, I mean, we're not afraid of any ECL team. I am, for the most part, yeah, I think we can do some damage there and get a good placing. Hopefully, some VRS points.
I
That's
like
that's
that.
that's, that's the big goal. Those VRS points.
Yeah, let's talk about them. How do you feel about those points from your perspective after 6 months of them?
And in A, it's hard, in my opinion. I mean, we need more online leagues that are VRS, which we've gotten some now. Sadly, we haven't qualified for any of them yet, but that's
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you. That was
at
just
least the
really
opportunity.
funny the way you
Yeah,
said
at least the
that.
opportunities are there. It's starting to get better, but yeah, it's still not as prevalent as is in EU with all these tournaments and VRS wise. But we're on a good path to starting to be able to qualify for these. We're getting a good spot now, especially our team. Like we can actually make it to these tournaments and whatnot to get the points. We just got to actually qualify for some of them so we can start getting some of these invites. Because there's a lot of teams that are getting these invites, and we're like, well, we're better than them, but we don't have the points. So it's a bit frustrating to watch that sometimes. But I mean, I still think the system needs some work. Now for how to fix it, I don't know. Maybe just more tournaments, but that's above my pay grade.
I
But no,
think that's starting to happen. I
yeah,
really do. I think one of the best things about VRS points is the fact that it is helping the tournament organizers. And if there's more tournament organizers putting on more tournaments, it means more spots for players to play officials. And that's really what is lacking in like our ecosystem in North America, right? Is like we lack different styles of play, right? So everybody's all playing the same style of Counter-Strike and only scrimming against that style of Counter-Strike. And we lack these spots where players can play more officials and mostly LAN officials more than anything, right? Like Fragadelphia is the only thing holding it together for
mhm.
NA. But with VRS, you're going to see more and more land start popping up eventually. And I think it'll take a couple years before there's like a full blown land circuit. But like, I really do think that the you see Momo's decided to invest himself in this phone call. He wants to talk to you here. He actually just wants to make biscuits on my belly. It's this is what I get to wake up to every morning. It's just a cat ass in my face and claws being dug into my belly.
I don't know. Last night in the stream when Momo made that appearance, my girlfriend fell in love with the cat.
He's a good kitty. He is a good kitty. He's a character. Anyway, I do agree though that I think that VRS definitely has some kinks right now, especially with like HLTV being the bottleneck that it is. All right, buddy, that is enough, Momo. Come on, that is quite enough. You'd think that he gets it out of his system after a moment, right? Like, but no. Like, look at him. He's still just got to keep making. He's making biscuits here. These things have got to get made. My God, Momo. Anyway, he's a he's a good one, but Jesus Christ. My whole point though is, yeah, I'm with you on the fact that VRS is not a perfect system right now, but I am excited for what it's doing for tournament organizers, which, like I said, is gonna help start building a bigger ecosystem in this region. What do you think we got to do to get more players in?
Like build players up or like bring in.
Well, more players in general, because that's another issue that Counter Strike faces.
The
Is
problem
people
is,
don't really.
I mean, there's a goal with Take Flight, and I don't know if people agree, but we need to start bringing new players up to these ECL teams because I personally, I mean, it's not me being like, hey, you gotta get out of here, but like ECL was just a constant rotation of the same players over and over, just different lineups. And at some point,
Right.
something's got to give. Like every now and then, you'll see like a new face. Like Fruit Cup got pulled up. That was a nice, refreshing thing. But like for the most part, like you don't really see new players get pulled up unless their team makes ECL and then they're able to maybe prove themselves a little bit. But I mean, from what I can see, I mean, there's a lot of players in advance that can compete at that level. It's just people just don't want to take the chance on them. Everyone's scared to take that chance. I mean, Complexity did. I mean, and although the major wise they didn't do too good, but to be fair, they're playing with a stand-in, and we'll leave it up to that. But I mean, they've shown some good results out of like Nick X 60. Um, and if an org like that can can take a chance on players, I mean, I don't see why some of these ECL teams can't. I mean, it was nice to see OG Wizard get the call up to what was supposed to be, at the time was a grid lineup to join, and now they gone through reiteration, so now they got kind of prove themselves again. Still a good team, but just recently, I think what Minus, he's been getting kind of more of the call ups. I mean, he just joined the boss roster, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. He's on boss
He
now.
was on Marsborn. You didn't really see him at those tops of the line teams, so that was good to see as well. So it's nice to see some of these players break through, but I would like to see more that definitely deserve it. Because some of these players are aging out. Like, I mean,
Don't talk that way about me.
it's bad. Yeah, it's bad. But like, yeah, some of these guys, I mean, they're like turning 23, 24, 25. I mean, look at Swisher. When he finally got M80, I think he was 23. And honestly, I think he should. I mean, that's a long time in like terms of talent wise to develop to finally get the call up to the big leagues to try to play. Because EU, you're seeing these 16-year-olds already competing on tier one stages, and over here we're just like, oh, well, he's 23. Oh, he seems to be all right. Let's finally get him. Instead of developing wise. So, I mean, we definitely are lacking the development structure that EU has. I mean, because there's so many academy teams over there and programs. I mean, hell, look at Spirit. They got like 5 academy teams now that they just announced, and that's really what's lacking here. And once again, honestly, the tournaments. More tournaments will breed more players. I mean, look at JBA. I mean, he's a young, but he's a young guy and he's doing pretty good. Finally, but that's only one out of how many years have we had now that's finally showing some light. So that's like, oh, superstar here out of NA. Gonna say, because yeah, the COVID Valorant jump that really killed our scene big time. Because I miss the old Liquid, the all NA Liquid. I mean, hell, we had Evil Geniuses able to put up numbers too. Uh, but that's kind of where we are at the scene. I mean, to me, I feel like it's honestly healing. I think it is getting better little by little.
Do you feel like we're on an uptick?
Yeah, and this is kind of the main reason how I kind of when I first said it. And this is not the knack the team, but
Oh
Mythic.
boy. Oh boy.
'Cause I remember
Some
a time when
juicy Nello drama. Here we go.
I remember a time when Adren was on that roster, and
Hot take.
he specifically said, "Yeah, these teams should be beating us. If they can't beat us, they don't deserve to be here." And obviously that was a long time ago, but honestly, it's true. Like these guys are streamers; they don't really scrim or whatnot. I mean, sure they know Counter Strike like great hands, but like if they were not a tier one team at the time, and now that Mythic kind of has fallen down, it kind of makes me think like, okay, the level of play has increased in NA. That now that I mean, a stream team, which it's kind of what they call themselves, is no longer able to compete in ECL and whatnot, like these ex pros and whatnot that lived and breathed Counter Strike. I mean, they can't without practice and constant stuff. They can't keep up with them, which is a good thing. I mean, it means we're learning, it means we're getting better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I actually
That's
hadn't heard
not
it put that.
that's my hot take on the myth
No, that's
on how NA is healing right now.
no, that's really good. I hadn't thought of it that way or heard it put that way. Like, yeah, if like these ex pros that have kind of been sitting in these spots forever, it's not a matter of them getting worse necessarily. It's our region is getting way better. Like, they're still good players at Counter Strike. That's fine. Nobody's saying that you fall off and forget how to play Counter Strike unless you
Mm-hmm.
take significant time off. But uh if you're constantly playing and know what you're doing and if you're not beating other teams, it's not necessarily you're a bad player. It means there's other better teams out there, and that's a good thing for our region. So yeah, I think that's very well said, Nello. Nice.
It also didn't help that some of our superstar players that were bringing up what Leaf and Zeppa went to Valorant to be big stars. Plus Ethan also made that jump, but plus Sam. But doesn't help that
Yeah,
the
Psalm was an up and comer.
yeah, it doesn't help that the up and or what was the tens doesn't help that the up and counters just the big ones all left. So now you have to build up. Those were the young guys too, so you have to wait for the next wave to come in.
Yeah, well, and I think Valorant has developed into its own esport at this point, and we also saw recently there was kind of the big collapse of the tier 2 scene, and I mean I don't really know anything about it. I just saw that people were
Yeah.
talking about it. But I just I feel like I do feel like we're getting, I don't know. There's something happening over here in Counter-Strike land that there's big things around the corner, it feels like. And what corner, how far away is around the corner? We don't know. Could be 5, 10 years from now. But in the grand scheme of things, we can start looking at these esports on a much longer timeline because we've seen that they've already stood the test of time, right? They've been around for 30 years now almost. And it's like they show no signs of stopping as they continue to grow and like expand and people are interested. So let's talk. Let's yap about this major here. How are we feeling about the major?
I'm sad about complexity. Um,
We all are.
I think those guys took it hard, especially what JT said. Like, yeah, if you can't get out, you don't deserve to be here. Which have a 32 team format, and I was like, it sucks. I mean, the Hallzerk. I mean, I don't know how much it really affected, but
I think it affected a lot. I mean, I know
yeah,
Junior played a fine tournament, but
Junior's a
from
good
my
player,
end,
but at the end of the day, it's still a different guy, different person behind that mouse and
and,
keyboard.
and Halzerk is their very aggressive opper
Mm-hmm.
that you know you don't have that guy on your roster. It's a pretty crucial part of a structure. So I don't place any blame on complexity. I'm just literally sad for them that Halzer couldn't show up because I think at the very least they would have gotten out of this stage for sure. Maybe they would have struggled in stage 2, but who do you got going through for the whole thing? Who's your big winner? You think there's going to be any Cinderella runs from stage 1 all the way to playoffs?
Not really, no.
No.
I mean, honestly, I don't all the way to playoffs. I mean, yeah, I hope NRG makes it through. That'd be nice. At least get something for NA to root on. I'll be honest, I'm not a big wildcard fan. I mean, they got two NA players, although Sonic's been playing NA for a long time, but I don't know. They got the European imports and whatnot, so I mean,
They
it's
got
hard,
Susp and Fozy.
yeah, it's I mean they're good, but it's hard for me to root for them. Um, I just don't have that allegiance to them that I feel for like energy or complexity at the moment. Team wise, that might make it all the way through. I can't really like make it to what are you talking about? Just stage 3?
Yeah, do you think anybody from stage 3 will make it past stage 2 even?
Trying to think who was all in stage 3. I'm blanking. Um,
Well, the people who have made it through are Heroic, OG, Bait, Bet Boom.
if anyone's gonna do this,
Uh,
heroic. I don't know
who
what
else?
heroic does with those players when they sign them, but they like become on a
Something happens.
they become on a different level of Counter Strike. Doesn't matter what lineup they sign, but then they become like they're a contender to all these teams. So
Well, and I think, yeah, and I think OG, if they keep playing, if Nikados keeps playing the way Nikados is playing, OG could make a tear through it. But I think that would be
no, the one team I think that can do it would be heroic. I think they can do a little Cinderella run with that lineup.
with Sun Pius.
Some pot, yeah, and that's his last tournament with them. He's going to G2. Um, but I mean, yeah, because what? Who's that? Who's the Belarusian? Letny or something? No, it's not Letny. That's a different guy.
What now?
I don't know. Their star player. I forget what his name is. Um, but yeah, I mean, what you got? Youngster. He's okay, but I'm blank on the names. It's getting that bad.
I don't remember anybody but Sun Pius. I'll
Yeah,
be
some
honest with
pies,
you.
and they also got this Belarusian kid that they somehow found that's a superstar, and but yeah, I mean they're doing good. I think they'll make a good run.
Okay. What about for the whole thing? Are you going to the major?
No, I was trying to, then the tickets and everything, it was just I couldn't in
It's
good
too
mind.
much.
Yeah, I couldn't in good mind spend that money. I got other
Yeah.
things to be spending money on instead of an entire paycheck on this thing
Well,
on
yeah.
just the ticket alone.
Yeah. I'm glad you're going to the lands because I do think that those are as fun as much as it sucks at not going to the major because I'm not going either. I just am so much more interested in being at like frag lands and like LAN events this year than anything because that's what's going to continue growing the scene and like someday someday then I'll be at the major. Like I feel like I'm investing being able to go to the major on a different level someday instead of just as a spectator. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
All right. What else you want to talk about here, Nello? I've only got a few questions left for you.
Few questions. Oh, geez. How's Big D today? How's Big D going? I mean,
How's
it's always about the guest, but how's the host?
I'm great actually. I woke up in a really good mood yesterday. I didn't wake up as great of a mood today, but I slept really well. I slept all the way through the night without having to get up in the middle of the night for anything, which was nice. Because the couple of nights previous, I'm turning 35 in a few weeks, so my sleep updates are really the most exciting parts of my life right now. Okay, I woke up in the middle of the night the couple of nights previous, and then I was like up for an hour or two and like couldn't fall asleep. So it was really nice to sleep through the night last night. We went to the dog park this morning. It was nice, although it's getting to be summertime in Arizona, which means that by like
It means
I'm not joking.
scorched earth.
Yeah, it means that like by 8 a.m. it is like hot outside. It's not like the scorching hot yet, but it's like uncomfortably hot outside in the sun by 8 a.m. So that's always fun to deal with. But I'm grateful for an air conditioned apartment, and my animals are happy and healthy, and we all I get to hang out and play a lot of Counter Strike and talk to people like you every day. So uh, shit's pretty good, man. And I should be at Frag Windsor,
There we go.
running around, yakking at people, doing what I do. But this time, probably filming a lot more of it because
Yeah,
that's the goal.
we'll probably be trying to film a little bit more as well.
Well,
we've been upping our content game a little bit. I mean, Saban's been doing some stellar little short videos, and especially like these game winning videos. I mean, it's getting a little bit up there.
oh, they've been, you guys have had some good ones there. The one of Ryan Gosling going through and
Oh yeah,
smashing everything or whatever that was backstage on his way out was
that was good.
fucking great. Yeah. Well, okay. Nello, you're gonna be a recurring guest when we have more recurring guests on here. So I'm gonna ask my last couple of questions here, and then we'll wrap it up and go watch the major. What do you think about
All
that?
right. I mean, it works for me. Works for me.
Sometimes these go long, sometimes they're like 40 minutes. You never know. But
You say recurring, but you know, I as you found out, I'm pretty elusive, so you better be hoping.
you are incredibly elusive. I've been trying to nail Nello down here for an interview. That's Big D's trying to nail Nello. My bad. Uh,
Since that New
we're tr-
Orleans tournament, whatever, how long ago that was.
since Kansas City, really.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Has we since Kansas City?
Maybe not that long. I think since it's been like 2 months. I've been trying to chase
Hmm.
you down, but we're gonna get you and Saban on for the full like Take Flight episode as well, where we discuss some Take Flight shit because Take Flight's gone global. Anyway, here's my last two questions for you. Where does your name Nello come from?
Oh, it really isn't that. It really isn't that deep. My name Nello comes from my last name, Anello. um, there was a my friend group. There's my first name's Austin. There's three Austins that was in this friend group at the time. So eventually, we all just started calling each other's like short variations of each other's last names that make it like single syllables. So saying obviously is not gonna work. So everyone just call me Nello to get my attention because you say Austin, you're gonna have three different people be like, huh? So yeah, that's just Nello. I used to go by the name Prime Salsa.
Prime Salsa?
Prime Salsa.
Well, what the hell does that mean?
It's just something I created back in the day, like when I first started PC gaming. And if you catch me in my War Thunder servers, you'll see Prime Salsa in there. That's the only spot Prime Salsa still exists is on my War Thunder account.
Yeah,
And
you've been
yeah,
grinding War Thunder.
I love War Thunder. I love playing the tanks, dude. Don't hate me. It's a man's game. Um,
That's
but
uh,
yeah,
that's
then
what I've been hearing.
eventually, because like Prime Salsa eventually is like, what is this name? You know, it doesn't really hold anything. I hate salsa to begin with. Why do I name myself this?
What? You hate salsa?
I'm not. I am. I mean, depends on salsa, but no, I'm not. I do not actively go like, salsa when it's on the table. I would just eat the chips plain most of the time. I'm that weirdo. But yeah, I
You
like.
are weird. What the hell?
I name
Salsa's
myself.
delicious.
I name myself after something I really don't like that much. But then yeah, I just changed my name to Nello, and that's I've been happy with it ever since. It's me, so and it's somewhat of a nickname. So here I am. Here is Nello.
Yeah, we love it. All right, here's your last question, Nello. This is the same question I ask everybody, but this is your opportunity to get on a soapbox and preach to the younger generation out there. And it can be Counter-Strike related or
Oh boy.
esports or life related. But if you could talk to a younger version of yourself, what's some advice you would give him?
Oh boy. You know, I never been asked this question, nor have I ever really thought what I would tell myself when I was younger. How young we talking? Like high school me or what?
Like as young as you want to go. I mean, I always imagine like an 11 or 12-year-old that's like, just starting to develop, I'm going to do this in the world or whatever, the
Uh,
stars in their eyes.
there are a lot of things like probably tell them like actually do some things like get some experiences early on because I'm not gonna lie, high school guy or like middle school I kind of became a little shut in. You know, I was kind of like on the outcast thing, but like there's some sports I wish I would have played. You know, maybe would have built some more friendships along the way, different experiences I could have done. But honestly, yeah, just kind of do some things that maybe would have gotten me out of my comfort zone instead of caring what people think or deal with the people I had to deal with. Although that's a hard thing to grasp at that time, because that's a hard mental block to overcome a lot of times at that point, and maybe and still in life it is. But sometimes you gotta go outside your box, like, and don't worry about other people, because I had a lot of people I had a lot of issues with in high school, and that prevented me from doing things kind of in that aspect. Because this is like more on the personal side. Because like I wish I played soccer in high school. Obviously, what I would have done football, but let's be real, I'm not. I was 5'7", 120 pounds when I graduated high school. I would have been I would have been picked up, thrown down, and that'd been it for me. But soccer, I definitely could have done, since my football dream was cut short by my wonderful genetics. Um, but yeah, there's just a lot of things. I mean, if you want to do something, do it. Don't let people stop it. That's pretty much a short message.
That's beautiful.
If
All
it's
right, dude.
good,
Well,
if it's good, of course. If it's good.
yes.
If
I
it's
mean,
bad, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that shit.
that's a good,
There we go.
yeah,
There we
good
go.
call.
There, save
Well,
myself.
I appreciate you coming through and hanging out and doing this finally with me. And we're as one last thing here, give us some plugs. Where can people find you? What's going on
Oh,
in the Take
I'm
Flight hood you want to promote?
my main personal space is Twitter, the Nello, GG. That's the as THEE. Some old timey medieval crap. Um, org owner here, by the way. Take Flight, GG. That's take. You should know how to spell that. Flight is with a Y, and FLYTE. And then GG. You can find that us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, or X if you really want to be like that. So it's gonna be Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and I'm a little bit on Instagram, not too much though. Don't worry about that. I won't plug that. But yeah, check us out. I say the org is more than me, so love you guys to look at that. I mean, we got some great players, some great content, some great teams that you can cheer on that we feel we are building very well. So come take a look at us, and hopefully you guys can be a fan, and we would love to talk to you.
Beautiful. All right, dude. Thank you. And that is it.
Yeah, I did it.
You did it.
Oh, I got